Thank you. Thank you, Dipti, for the introduction. I'm excited to be part of today's summit, and let's get right into it. So today I'll take you through the challenge we're trying to solve, as well as the solution that we use to overcome this challenge. And I'll show you a demo. It's going to be a hands-on demo on how to build an AI assistant from scratch, given that challenge. And then I'll conclude with a couple takeaways. So first, let's go through our challenge. Who here, like by just a quick show of hands, been bombarded with like all of those AI words, AI initiatives, AI, like courses to take and all? Anyone? Yeah, I see couple. So yeah, that's the thing. So there is like a big challenge right now with all of everyone is talking about AI, but like a lot of people don't know like okay where to start or what type of courses I should take based also on my industry and my preferences. Because like an industry in finance is gonna be different than AI courses like straight to, for example, marketing. There can be some similarities, but like it needs to be more curated. So for that, we're gonna be building today the AI Career Advisor. So the AI Career Advisor, it's an AI assistant which will provide you a personalized recommendations and recommended path for you based on couple inputs that you're going to give the chatbot to say like, hey, I am in the marketing industry. What would be like some of the AI skills I have to gain, or what are some of the AI courses I have to take? So that would help you with that. The tools we use Azure, heavily Azure OpenAI, as well as Gradio, the Python package just for interface, and then we deployed it on the Hugging Face. So right before I go to the demo right away, let me just tell you how it works under the hood. So first, the user will give a prompt, and then once the user give a prompt, it will pass through Gradio, which is going to be our chat interface, and Gradio will take the message as well as any chat history that it have, and then it will pass this to the Azure OpenAI, and then Azure OpenAI will take this message as well as the chat history, understand it, then provide a response for the user. And then there will be like this back and forth that you do have with the AI assistant. And then after that, we're going to be packaging all of the solution and then deploying it on Hugging Face so that anyone can access it. So let's get right into the demo. So first, I'll show you how to do this quick prototype on Azure AI Foundry, which can be very quick. But the only caveat is like not everyone will be able to access it. So then I'll show you later on how you can deploy it live so that anyone can use it. Hello. So first thing, you go to your Azure AI Foundry, you create a project. It's very simple at first. And then once you create the project, you will get your API key, which you'll be using it. So keep a note of that. And as well as your Azure AI Foundry project endpoint, which you're also going to be needing. And there's like a couple details about your Azure OpenAI endpoint and so on and so forth. And here's some of the project details that what are you, for example, utilizing in terms of the subscription ID, the resource group which you created on your Azure portal. So then I'll show you first how you can create our AI Career Advisor using Azure AI Foundry on here, and then we will shift gears to how you can create it and then publish it on Hugging Face on the cloud so that anyone can use it. So first, if you go to the playgrounds, and you will find an option for chat playground. So you just click on chat playground, and then here my instruction is just like, oh, you are an AI assistant that helps people find information. So let's say, so this is pretty much a generic AI assistant. So if I say, who is the CEO of Microsoft? What it would do, it would be it will be using the web data to get that. So say Satya. So now let's say I wanna make this chatbot personalized, right? So what you'll have to do is you have to change the instructions. So here I had a prompt already for this AI career advisor, which I'll just paste it here. And also, honestly, for those prompts, you can either just put like a very simple prompt and then click on generate system prompt, and it will refine your prompt and put it, or you can use some other LLM to help you with crafting your prompt and add it. Then I'll add apply changes, and then I'll show you how the responses changes. So if I say, hello, how can you help me today? So see, it changes automatically. So it says like, hey, I'm here to help you kickstart or advance your journey into AI, which is like very tied to the system prompt I added here. So if I say, yeah, I am in the marketing, let's say, marketing industry, right? Then it will say like, we'll take a reference of that and also ask you some follow-up questions just to understand the user better, because in my instructions, this is what I added. I added that make sure to ask follow-up questions to the user so that you understand the user profile so that you can provide like better answers and curated, tailored answers to them. So now you see, this is very simple. You can create it on the Azure AI Foundry and that's it, right? But the tricky thing is like, okay, so now I wanna, let's say other people use it, right? So let's go to Visual Studio. So here, and also, you know, like you can, if you go view code, it's like pretty much this is the code that's used for your chatbot. So you can get the help of it from here. Okay, so if I go to the Visual Studio here, first thing I had to import a couple important libraries. So one is the Azure OpenAI, which I used so that I can use the Azure OpenAI service, as well as I had to import, of course, the load.env, which so that I can load my environment variables, which I'll show you what I do have there. And then I'm using Gradio for my chat interface, web UI. So I'm importing also that library because this is very important. And of course, the regular OS module. So if you go to the environment, you will find my Azure OpenAI key. You will also find my Azure OpenAI endpoint, which I was showing you, as well as the Azure OpenAI deployment. So in my case, I was using GPT-4o. You can deploy in another model if you need, using another model. So, but like I just used GPT-4 for this demo. So going back, first I of course have to initialize the Azure OpenAI client. And then once I do that, here of course I'm just naming this line deployment. My deployment name is the GPT-4o. And then you have your system prompt. This is the exact system prompt I added in the Azure AI Foundry, you know, like, so first understand the user, provide targeted follow-up questions, understand from which industry they're in, the technical comfort level, assess and recommend, provide a personalized roadmap, and so on and so forth. This system prompt can always be changed based on what you'd like the AI assistant to behave. So feel free to change it. It's not like it always have to be the same. Okay. Then comes the important part. So there you are. We are having a function so that we can handle the chat turn, right? So here, Gradio will call this when the user sends a message. So when a user sends a message, it takes that message as well as along with any conversation history. So think about it's like memory, right? Like it's their memory. So Gradio passes the current message as well as the full chat history to the backend, and then while it's passing it to the backend, it needs to be in a certain format so that the API can understand it, which we are doing it here. And then we are sending that to Azure OpenAI to get a response. And here there's like some parameters that I have, right? Like
For example, what's the temperature? Temperature, you can think about like a creativity, the maximum tokens that it needs to be using while crafting this message, and so on and so forth. And then I'm also putting like some error handling here. So for example, let's say while it was calling Azure OpenAI, it couldn't get a response. So I'm saying like provide this error in case any. Then building a very, very simple radio chat interface, which is here, adding like a couple tiles from the front end. Well, like I am software developer, or who wants to specialize in AI. I work in healthcare. Just, this just can help the users in terms of their prompting. Okay, so here what I had to do is to activate my virtual environment first. And then what I'm going to show you, I'm going to run this file, the .py file. Click here. So now I did run it. So I'll show you how it, now I'm like essentially testing it locally here. And let's just use one of those styles. And if you see here, it gave me, based on the system prompt, this is how it is behaving. It says, okay, this is a suggested learning path, the next steps. It's even giving me like links for the courses. And it's making it more personalized for me, right? So I said marketing. So it's providing me some sort of AI marketing tools that I can use here, as well as like it's giving me some project ideas, create a social media calendar using ChatGPT. So yeah, and of course I can ask follow-up question. Can you please expand a little more on my project? Let me say on the project idea, and let's see what's gonna do. So this is the multi-turn type of conversation, so it's it should be able to handle that. So yeah, so it said, so expand on the project I create an automated social media content calendar using AI, and it gave me like a more detailed way to do that. So now this is in your local, right? So now let's say, no, I wanna do it on the cloud so that everyone can use it, right? So what you're gonna do is like you're gonna go to Hugging Face. It's actually pretty powerful website. And then you go to Spaces, and then you click on New Space. And then I would just say AI career advisor. Okay, you can put a short description if you want. I'm using radio, CPU basic, and I want to keep it public, so I'm gonna create the space. And I have to add the files, right? My files. So let's add our files here. So we have, this is the app.py. So I'm gonna contribute, create new file, and then app.py, put it here, and then commit to main. And then the other one I need to add is the requirements. Just take all of that. And then files, and then contribute, create a new file. And then we add requirements.txt. Then we add it here, and then commit new file to this branch. And then I go to files. What I'm missing? I am missing my NVEN, right? But of course, I cannot just put it here because I don't want everyone to see my API, right? I use my API keys. So I have to go to settings, and then you will find something called new secret. So you go to new secret, and then you say, go to my NVEN file, And then I get my Azure OpenAI API key, put it here, and the value, I take that and put it here, and then save. And I have some variables that I shouldn't be missing, right? Those. My Azure OpenAI endpoint, put it here, and it's and then click save, and then my other variable is the deployment model that I'm using, and then the value is GPT 4.0, and then save, and then files. And now what it's doing, it's actually now using all of those files that I do have in the background, right? And it's starting my app. So if I go to app, if you see it's like now loading, the app is loading. It just takes some time. And let's just wait a bit. And then let's just close this, and here it is. So you click here, let's test it out and see if it's working. So if you see here, the status say it's running, so it's successful. So yeah, it's working fine now. And yeah, so now anyone can use it. They can just go to Hugging Face and find the AI Career Advisor.
Yeah. So as you see in the demo, it all started with the AI Foundry. So I did like a quick prototype, and then I showed you how you can build your own AI assistant and even deploy it to prod so that anyone can use it. So, I mean, the main takeaway, let's go to here, that anyone literally right now can build an AI assistant. You don't really need to wait for anyone. If you have a challenge, if you have an idea in mind, go ahead, start prototyping, start leveraging the AI tools that we already have in the market. Doesn't need like a huge knowledge to start, and start using the AI Foundry, the different API keys, start playing around with it and see what's the potential of each, and start experimenting and building. And as a token for that, I also left here the GitHub repo as well as the Hugging Face. So if you scan the GitHub repo, you'll be able to get the source code that I was just going through right now. And also you will be able to if you scan the Hugging Face, you'll be able to use the chatbot and interact with it. So you don't have to build the same chatbot. You can probably use a different prompt or instructions, but today it was just one example of like to show you the power of what you can do in literally just 10 minutes. So yeah, this takes us to the last in our session, and I would love to open it for any questions or answers